Chase to the sundown. We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up. Chasing, chasing, chasing. Every day we chasing, chasing, chasing. No time to be wasted. Look, faking the lead, we don't fight tomorrow. Don't care what they say, not changing the pace. Working too hard to be last in the race. So much time in the day and it ain't none to waste. Working this hard to be one of the greats, whatever it takes, put that on the plate. Life is a gamble, we raising the stakes, moving the bar up so high. Been on our grind, full life, bringing the light, you just so bright. We shining, platinum sound cool, but we trying to reach diamond. Hard work pays off, that's perfect timing. Changing the world with this rhyming, it's priceless. We got the nicest by putting the time in. Can't be the greatest, I'm not even trying. What now? We on the chase to the sundown. We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up. Chasing, chasing, chasing. Every day we chasing, chasing, chasing. No time to be wasted. What now? We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up. What now? We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up.
Man, I lost track of time. I apologize, Mama. Go ahead and eat without me. I'm still on the grind.
I ain't touching home base by dinner time. All I can see is the finish line. Started, I gotta finish mine. It's get it time, anytime, hella long. I've been in line, I didn't mind at all. Wake and bake won't take a break at all. That's on my word, my boss. Naming lights gon' have to pay me twice or pay me no mind, and I don't mind at all. My grind is green, I am my job to inspire. I'm right behind Goats, a line that's been fired by a chain for a time. I ain't get hired, second wind kicked in, I probably won't get tired. Kevin Gates or Kevin Bacon, only 6 degrees of separation between me and the next level of elevation. Perseverance, the art of dedication. What now? We on the chase to the sundown. We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up. Chasing, chasing, chasing. Every day we chasing, chasing, chasing. No time to be wasted.
Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. Welcome into Infinite Racing League here, everybody. Welcome to the broadcast. Those who are viewing from home, from work, or from wherever else that you're viewing from. We hope everybody enjoys our ACC PS5 version event here this evening. It's going to be round 7 of the Infinite Racing League GT3 Summer Series, partnered with Coach Dave Academy, ladies and gentlemen, none other. Again, this is a PlayStation 5 edition. We're going to see a great race. Last weekend, we had a rain race at Zolder, and it shook up the standings. Johnny B went in with the points lead going into round 6, and he comes out chasing last week's winner. MX blocks him now, who is now our point standings leader coming into round 7. So what do we have in store for everybody for round 7 tonight? On the screen in front of you is the season schedule. Round 7 on July 16th in Zandvoort. It is a 1-hour endurance race, and it is a 2-stop fuel mandatory now, as it was changed recently throughout the off part of the week. So what that means is the drivers will have to stop 2 times, and they have to take a minimum of 1 liter of fuel each stop. Tires are optional, so that is up to each driver and each racing team depending on how their car feels. Now the track is very hot today. It's 33 degree temperature outside. It's optimum right now. The track temperature is 38 degrees Celsius, so that puts it in and around about 95 Fahrenheit, give or take. Alright, so we have a very big field here today, as you guys can see on the screens in front of you, of course. So this is going to be the biggest field and lineup of cars we've had all series long. We have 25 drivers checked in here today. Let's go see what we got on the grid here. And right now we have 22 on track. So there's 3 cars right now missing off the grid here. So let's just go jump on track. Let's go take a peek-sees here and see what we see. Oh, we had one there. Oh boy, and we got, we got Fluka, who is running his way up the standings here as well. He had a pretty good race last week as well, just missing podium there in this new Ferrari 296. Having a little bit of an issue there, so right off the bat we could see that the track is very undulating. It's up and downhill, it's very curvy. Zandvoort is a very difficult racetrack, it's a very technical racetrack, and it's going to make for some pretty spicy racing here tonight. I am your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. This will be a family-friendly broadcast for everybody, and hello out there to all the boys and girls as well. So grab your favorite snacks, grab your favorite beverages, no rush, you got time. We still got a minute and a half free practice. We'll have about a 4-minute window in between that, and then we'll see qualifying start up. From there we'll have 15 full minutes of qualifying from all what looks to be 22 drivers on our grid currently, and from there the drivers will get one last chance to make any last minute tire pressure adjustments, anything they need to do there within the garage. Race control will line these drivers up on the starting grid in the position that they qualified, pending that no one fails tech inspection, of course. And from there, we'll do a virtual pace lap. Now, either it'll be a rolling start pace lap or it'll be a full virtual pace lap. Here today, I think we're probably going to see the full rolling formation lap, but we'll have to wait to find out till race start to see if that's the case. If that is the case, we will see a virtual safety car, so we won't really see a safety car on the racetrack, but race control will be in the radio of the drivers, and of course with the crew chiefs in behind the pit wall there, and they'll be making instructions to all the drivers on the grid. And Fluke is struggling just a little bit here, seems like in practices. He's just trying to fine-tune this car around the racetrack here, and I think he's going to call it right there. Let's jump on with Choco here. Choco has opted to go with the Ferrari here. Interesting. Is that the Ferrari? It is. It's just a very gold-looking Ferrari. I forgot where I was, chat. Where was I there? Slacking is where I was, apparently. Hey, how's it going, Rigo? Let's go. It is time, y'all. Absolutely. Welcome in, everybody, over on the YouTube and the Facebook channels as well. We are live on 3 different platforms here this evening. If something doesn't sound right or isn't looking right, don't hesitate to let us know. We can fix a lot of it on the fly. We will take you guys to the big screen when qualifying starts, so you can see practice is actually over right now. You can see that the flag officials have the flag out to let the drivers know they need to come in. So now what is going to happen is this is the time where the race officials... Quick check. Oh wow, we are going right into it here. Alright, so we are qualifying right now. Oh, let's go back to that guy right there. Who is that? That is Rapid Duck. Rapid Duck jumping in a McLaren here. Alright, okay, so coming out of the BMW is Rapid Duck, and he's going to opt to go with the McLaren. So interesting choice. Now, as I suspected last week, for those of us that were watching last week or watched the broadcast later at their own convenience, of course, we mentioned that we believed that the cars were going to suffer full points loss up until the point of the car switch within the series, and I can confirm that that was a correct assumption. So all the drivers that we have seen swap out cars have all given up all points earned up to this point and now are starting over from 0 championship points. So Rapid Duck is now starting at 0 championship points here today, but he is currently the first driver out on track. So we're going to stick with Rapid Duck here as we're going around. And when we hit the start finish line here, we'll jump on board and he'll take us around for a lap around Zandvoort. And very technical racetrack. I don't know much about this track myself personally. I'm quite Zandvoort new in a sense, but I will do the best I can to bring all the action to everybody as efficiently as I can here this evening. So we got to learn. It's a part of the trade here. So let's see how we go here. Now it's in the red. It's the out lap. This lap doesn't count for anything. It's an 8:50. We're not going to see lap times like that. So we can see Rapid Duck is now coming into the start finish line. So we're going to jump on board here, and we're going to turn that audio down just a little tiny bit because it screams when we go into the onboard. And we're going to go for a lap around Zandvoort with the first driver out on track. So he'll be the first driver to record a time when he comes across that start-finish line here. And we're going to see what it's going to look like from his point of view here today. So a lap around Zandvoort. Again, I don't know much about the track, and I apologize, but hold on. Let's get you a bigger visual. That's better, isn't it? All right. Just going to make sure that everything is working and kicking. It does appear that everything is working and kicking, so fantastic. Alright. And so far, a pretty nice lap here from Rapid Duck. Now, he's a very efficient driver. He seems to be a very consistent driver, and he's very quick. That much he's showing. So, it's going to be interesting to see how he does in the McLaren. Now, that was in the BMW, based off of our judgment here throughout the season. He's been in that, of course, green BMW like we see this McLaren here today. And we'll go back out to our camera crews in just a minute here, but I don't even know what kind of lap times to see around here. We're on a full learning curve ourselves here tonight, so let's see what we've got. I believe we're coming into the final sector here now, or the final third of the racetrack, I believe it is. And it's basically a 3-section kind of track that all U-turns into itself here. So let's get out to the onboard and see what Rapid Duck puts down here. And that first lap's going to be a 36.682. And we'll see how long that remains pole position for the time being. So we got Hi, my name is what? He hasn't recorded his first time yet. Let's jump on with our 16th driver out on the racetrack here. And I believe he's about at the midway point of our racetrack, so our second chunk of the racetrack, so to speak. And just starting to head into the final sectors here as well. Again with another McLaren, so to see how his time compares with Rapid Duck's time. A little bit of a slide there, that's going to cost him on the exit. You can see it was a very short exit as well. That short exit's going to cost a little bit of acceleration there, and that little wiggle in the back end of the car as well, not going to help. So a little bit of traction brake from our McLaren driver there, and well, it is what it is, it happens. And he's going to come through with a 38.287, so it's good enough for 7th place here right now. Cast is a 39.17. That's an 11th place spot currently after the first set of laps is rolled through. Ooh, Mercedes driver Rigo just getting that car together, maybe trying to warm them tires up a little bit still here as well. 140.2 right now. MX Bloxham, who is our current championship's point leader now coming into round 7 this evening, is sitting currently in 5th place provisionally through qualifying. And oh boy, big mistake there in qualifying, and he's going to take a hit into the wall there too, and that means he's going to have to bring that car in, and they're going to have to sort that car out. So it's Johnny B who's sitting in 2nd place in the championship standings, I believe. I can't confirm. I'm going to have to go look at him once I can find him myself to really confirm, but he is definitely right there in the hunt to try and repeat after last season's GT3 series at Infinite Racing League that we broadcast here as well. So he is the defending champion, and that is why we see number 1 on his car here as well. Sitting in 2nd currently, 36.945. We got maybe a couple guys opting not to go out, or they're going to go out late in qualifying. I'm not sure. Some guys just like to chill and wait till the last few minutes of qualifying. We've got Emmy Bernie. We're going to call him Bernie. We're going to call this one Bernie in the Audi. A little bit of a mistake there. We've got Adrena here in 8th place right now, currently on, of course, a full season driver here in that Lamborghini as well. So a 38 flat for Adrena right now. We have Crazy Face. That's fantastic. Love to see Crazy Face here. He's opting to go in a Lamborghini here. So I do know this driver from Gran Turismo platform as well, from the community. So I love to see Crazy Face here in a set of Corset, and an Infinite Racing League as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he stacks up against the guys here today. We've got JDR in 15th. Again, been here all season in that beautiful Lamborghini. He changes that color scheme up for us just a little bit from week to week too. So a little bit of fun there from him. We've got Hutchinson in 16th place currently. He's in a Porsche. Another Porsche driver, Ian Greener, in 20th right now. It looks like he's just coming out. You can see him really going back and forth, left to right there, trying to scrub those tires. We have Racing Hobo back on the grid here tonight, and he's in that BMW as well, so love to see him back. GLR Seal back on track there. The Porsche made a little bit of a mistake there. And yeah, again, great awareness there from the Porsche driver to realize that the 555 BMW was nearby and stayed off track till he got through, not to interfere with his hot lap. Currently sitting 13th in the grid, and he is up by almost 3/4 of a second coming across the line here. So final, I'm not sure why the white flag is out there. It shouldn't be. There's still 7.5 minutes remaining. 138.017 moves him up into 10th, so he grabs 3 spots with that lap. A mistake made by Tango 2 here. We're going to have, I believe, Adrena go past there. Cletus, all right, let's see what Cletus has got. Cletus is in the Ferrari here as well. I believe it jumped in Ferrari last round, so points earned last round plus this week's points. We'll have to see how he handles it here today, but I can't quite remember where Cletus finished up last week, but it looked like he was handling the car pretty well for the most part. Pixel of Chaos is returning here this week again as well. Fluke, of course, been doing a great job in that Ferrari and really starting to show his pace here as season to season goes here in Infinite Racing League. SRE Boss is back on track here today as well, and in a Ferrari, pardon me, I was going to say Lambo, boy oh boy, my apologies to Ferrari, it is a Ferrari. Choco in the Ferrari. Critico is in a Ferrari here as well, was in the NSX at the early part of the season, so we've seen most of the drivers change their cars since the most recent update. What was that, 1.29 I think it was, or something like that. That just dropped here on the Assetto Corsa Competizione PlayStation 5 platform. So very fortunate that they rolled that out quite quickly after the PC update, just a couple of months in behind. So PS5 users getting to reap a little bit of benefits of some new age gaming here with this newer technology console. So I mean, if you're one of those PlayStation users that's sitting on the fence right now and you're a sim racer and you're really sitting there debating whether or not you need to make the investment at some point and make the switch from 4 to 5, well, I gotta tell you what, obviously we can't do iRacing on the PS5. You need a computer for that, but I can tell you what, we sure can get the same things, or close to the same things, that these PC ACC players are getting here on this PlayStation 5 console. And I mean, you guys are seeing it here live in you're on your own screen and your own devices at home or wherever it is you're watching. You're seeing how great the potential and the action is here on the racetrack, no matter what league it is we're broadcasting for on Assetto Corsa Competizione. The tracks are real, the cars are updated. They do a really great job here, and having 30 potential racers at one time on the grid with the lobby size just is fantastic. So I mean, if that's not enough reason alone for a PlayStation 4 user to be no longer sitting on the fence, if you're an ACC fan, run to the store right now and go get a PlayStation 5 and get on Assetto Corsa Competizione PS5 version. You're gonna fall in love immediately, I promise it. And I mean, GT7, PlayStation exclusive. You can't get it anywhere else but PlayStation. And I gotta tell you, going from 4 to 5 myself, GT7 is a whole different game. Visually stimulating. It's a lot more responsive. Naturally, it just seems like you find a little more pace on Gran Turismo. So PlayStation 5, huge benefits over the PlayStation 4. If you're sitting on the fence, I know it's a tough pill to swallow. Maybe you can't afford it right now, but definitely put it on that wish list because you won't regret it. It is an incredible piece of console gaming technology, and then, well, it allows us to do great stuff like this week in and week out, that's for sure. So Arrigo here again, returning driver, blocks him here, now down into 7th place. Johnny B still sitting in 2nd, 36.595. He has improved slightly on his best lap. Scary Guy hasn't been out on track yet. We got Bernie here in 18th place, so not looking too shabby here. We've got Adrena in top 10 still. Crazy Face in 12th, so only put one good close valid lap in here so far, and already in the top half of that grid, so looking good. JDR in 15th, we got Hutchinson in 17th, we got Greener out still on track at 21st, we've got Pixel of Chaos who's just chilling. Seal, not sure what's going on there, that was a bad camera angle from the crew there, but we got Tango 2 coming through, and he just put in a 30, his best lap is a 38.9, so it's a 14th best on the grid time. We got 3 minutes remaining. You see caution flag out there, so the drivers do need to be aware of that caution flag coming around the corners, obviously in case there's a car on the track. But our great flagging officials here at Zandvoort doing a great job at directing our drivers as they're coming around where each of these booths are on the racetrack. So Fluke is still holding strong here in 4th, 36.782. So we have a little group of cars here that is fairly close in pace, it looks like, within a couple tenths of each other at bare minimum here. Rapid Duck still sitting in pole position. We got SRE Boss now up into 3rd place with that Ferrari at the 36.702. So less than a tenth of a second between him and 4th place driver Fluke right now. Choco is currently sitting in 16th with a 39.4. You can see a blue flag being waved there, and in qualifying, in a sense, that's a hold your line and let that driver around type situation. These guys have been doing a great job of getting out of the way of the hot lap traffic, in a sense. Who are we with here? Critical, 6th place Ferrari. We haven't been with Critical since he's been on track here. 37 flat is not his best time, but the last lap was very close, so let's see what he's got here as he comes around. He's right on that even Steven line right now. As you can see up in the top left-hand side of the screen, that green means that he's up on his personal best lap right now, about a half a tenth there. So it's give or take, depending on the corner, he gained some there. Let's see how the exit goes. And he gave it a little bit of it back, so he is super close on this personal best time here. He's going to read some really nice, good, clean final corners here. He is right even Steven right now as he comes through the final few corners here to register his next time, and he's only going to get one more crack at this here. So a minute and a half to go around, and we're seeing about a minute 40 laps on average, give or take, a little bit less. From the driving field here today. So this will be the final lap when he does come around these final few corners here at Zandvoort, and then he's going to see what he can do after this, or he's going to pull off and call it. Let's see, he's up 2 tenths here, so it will be an improvement. Let's see where it puts him from 6th here. We know these drivers are super close right now. Oh wow, it still keeps them in 6th place, so it was an improvement, but not enough to catch anybody up in front. Pole sitter Rapid Duck with a 136.550. If I'm not mistaken, Johnny B is about 4/100ths of a second off that time currently. Rigo, let's stick with Rigo here. Rigo is currently sitting in 14th. Mercedes driver, again, returning driver. Well, he's up about a tenth and a half right now, and he's coming through the final few corners here as well. He may or may not actually get another crack at this. It depends when he gets around the start-finish line here, but he's either going to see a white flag or a checkered flag when he comes around the flagger stand here. And you can see it looks like it's a quite used up racing surface here too, so it's going to be very sandpapery. Oh wow, he's just going to get across in time, so he is going to get another time, and he does improve on his time there. It's a 38.367, but he doesn't grab him any more position here. We got Bloxham, he's moved himself up into 4th place with a 36.750. Who we have on track still. There we go. We have Cletus coming around here. He's just about to hit that checkered flag here. And it looks like it's going to be a 7th place. That was his best lap, though. It was a 37.332 there from Cletus. What do we got here? 137.950 from Pixel of Chaos. That was also his best lap, that last lap. So all the drivers seem to be hooking up their best laps right at the end. And there we go. We have finished qualifying. So with that being said, it's going to be Rapid Duck on pole position, followed by Johnny B Bang, and it's going to be SRE Boss in 3rd. Sitting beside him will be MX Bloxham, points championship leader currently. It's going to be Fluka on row 3 with Critico sitting right beside him in 6th place. In row 4, it'll be started with Cletus and Yakas lined up beside him in 8th. In row 5, it's going to be Hi, My Name Is What. Sitting right beside him will be Adrena Luke. In row 6 will be Crazy Face and Pixel of Chaos side by side. From there we head to row 7. Row 7 will be BMW driver GLR Seal, and lined up beside him will be Lamborghini driver JDR 0317 in 14th. To start row 8 will be Rego C24 and Tango 2 in 16th, lined up beside him in that BMW. Joko will start out row 9 in 17th position, with Hutchinson lined up beside him in 18th. Bernie will start in row 10 with Racing Hobo, who didn't run qualifying today, in 20th place. Ian Greener will finish out the final row here, row 11, with 21st and Scary Guy sitting in 22nd position in the Audi. So 3 drivers opting not to qualify here, so that gives us 22. We're going to sit on Crazy Face this season, no pressure, my guy, before the start of the race. So the reason why we are going to do that is we like to sit right in the middle of the pack, and that allows us to catch a little bit more of the action in front of and behind of that driver going through the corners at race start. So there was a fairly large pileup last week at the beginning of Zolder. Of course, very, very wet conditions there last week at Zolder as well. So the drivers had it tough last week, and I'm not sure what the end result of that was. Of course, that's not my spot to say. But races go on, so we are live, and we are about ready to let these drivers loose. So again, until we see checkered flags across all those names where you see the green squares, some of them are green squares, some of them are checkered flags. Once we see that all finished up, we will get ready for our countdown to race start. And just in case something goes wrong, we should be restarting our recording, at least for the race, just to make sure that we have that all, of course, backed up. So the production crews is working hard here. Of course, we'd like to start off by thanking the track, Zandvoort, for allowing us to come here and rip it up with these beautiful GT3 cars here tonight, and all the volunteers, of course, on the track that keep everything fine-tuned and running, to the safety crews that keep these drivers safe when things go wrong, and everybody in between, to the fans that take the time to come out and hang out with us. We really greatly do appreciate it. So it looks like we are going to see a full virtual car safety lap here today, and in 3 minutes we will see these drivers go single file from the start finish line. When race control tells them to start taking off, they'll go through our pole sitter, who is Rapid Duck, and then through the field right down to our 22nd driver at the end of the grid. They'll all drive single file for about 2/3 of the racetrack. So we'll see them go 2 by 2 at about the final 2 corners on the bottom right hand side of the track map on your screen there. We'll see the drivers start to line up 2 by 2, and again, that will be controlled by radio efforts from race control behind the scenes. Each driver does have radio contact with their team in their ears of their race car. It's quite a cool setup. If I remember, maybe we'll talk a little bit about how that works throughout the broadcast, but we'll see. Well, we'll see what the drivers give us any time to talk further about that. But it's pretty cool how it works in race cars. Obviously, I don't have, maybe not so much about GT3 cars, but I can't see it being a whole lot different from what it was in stock cars. It's again, you have a spotter, and you have a whole crew talking to you and transmitting information, of course, race control. So there has to be some form of communication that's done by radio. These are just things that we don't see as viewers and fans, and things that aren't talked about, but it is a very important and integral part of any kind of racing, whether it's circuit racing, oval track racing, Formula One racing. It doesn't matter what it is. If there is a spotter involved, there is radio communication of some sort. So race control again takes over from radio communication, tells these guys to line up 2 by 2 in their qualifying positions. When race control is happy, they'll drop the green flag. These drivers will take off. They can't move out of their position or pass anyone until they cross the start finish line, and then it is game on for 1 hour here tonight. And again, it is a mandatory 2 stops for fuel this week, 1 liter mandatory each stop. Tires are optional. So the bigger question is, Fluka, Johnny B, MX blocks them, all right there battling for the top prize. Critico was now making that switch there, so he's dropped himself out of that battle, but it's a solid 3-4 way battle for the top of, well, the top of the championship podium here in next week's race. Paradise coming in with a thumbs up. How we doing, my guy? We appreciate you.
30 seconds.
Alright, so we can get on track here with our 11th place driver. We're just going to do a quick little check, make sure everything is jumping and bopping and jiving properly here, and we'll get ready to do some racing, folks. So, well, this is not race start here, so when this timer runs out, this is not the race. This is a virtual car warm-up lap. We're going to see the driver swerve side to side, speed up, slow down, bob and weave, do all kinds of crazy different things. We're going to be maybe a little bit confused by that for those of us that are trying to figure out what's happening on the racetrack. That is, the drivers trying to warm up their brakes, trying to get heat built up in their tires, so build tire temperature up in the tires. So racing compound tires, when they're going around on a racetrack, build up heat. That heat builds more tire pressure in the tires. The delicate balance here for race cars is not overpressuring the tires when they're at their hottest temperature, because if you overheat the tires, you're going to lose grip. So there's an optimum running temperature range from car to car in the game, and if you can get your tire temperatures when you're in your optimal running conditions on an optimal racetrack, you will be absolutely feeling good. The car is going to hook up, it's going to do everything you want it to do, as long as you don't try to overdrive it, and I mean, you're going to have some fun racing. So we got Cyrus coming in with the like on the stream as well. Much love, appreciate you. Hope you're having a fantastic day, evening, morning, or afternoon, depending where it is you're viewing from. I doubled one up there. So we're going to sit on 11th place driver, Crazy Face here. We got 22 on the grid tonight. This is a Sette Corsa Competizione PlayStation 5 version, Infinite Racing League GT3 Summer Series Round 7. Again, partnered with Coach Dave Academy. And I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. Nolander coming in with that thumbs up. My guy, what is up? And 22 beautiful, loud, roaring, massive, beautiful GT3 machinery are about to double up here and get ready to do 60 minutes of racing in Zandvoort today. This is going to be spicy. The drivers have been they've been pretty excited about this race back in behind the scenes and behind the paddock this afternoon. We're talking to some of the drivers and all the chitter and the chatter from the teams, drivers between each other. They say this is going to be a great race, so let's see what they got for us, shall we? We haven't lined them up 2 by 2 yet, but we are definitely going to be getting to that point here very soon. It's a very long, snaky racetrack here, Zandvoort. Yeah, it doesn't really have a shape that reminds me of anything. It's just a long, snaky, it's undulating, it goes uphill, it has dips, dives, and little loop-de-loops. So here we go, lining up 2 by 2 to get ready to start racing here. Kick them tires, light them fires. Let's go racing, folks. Alright, so you can see Crazy Face getting lined up with his 12th place driver there, and it is going to be, I believe, Pixel of Chaos, that is, I think. And we're going to get ready to start racing. So can the drivers get a nice, Adrenaline Luke is right there, so Adrenaline Luke is a little bit out of position here, maybe? There we go, everybody's kind of getting back in the right position here now, it looks like. Alright, race control has that flag as green. I see a green flag sitting there. So far we're looking good. Race control's happy with the way the drivers have lined up. And we are about to go racing, ladies and gentlemen. So are they going to drop green, or are they going to send them around one more time to get it all right? We're about to find out. 3, 2, we are green, green, and we're racing it. Rapid Duck immediately taking the defensive line. Johnny B immediately going to take a dive down and see if he can get a look going into the first corner, and that is not going to be the case. Everybody else just taking it easy. A lot of cars roaring into this first hairpin. Cold racing tires. Everybody's got a little bit of nerves kicking through. Everybody's wants to try and get position right away, but oh, that patience is so key on this very first lap here. So far, so good here. Great clean first couple corners by the 22 drivers on the grid here today, and some huge patience being exercised here today. And you know what? I think the drivers are right. I think we're in for a doozy. We got a little battle happening there and behind with the Mercedes driver and that Ferrari. Ferrari dropping a couple positions on race start there. But again, some of the drivers just being more cautious. This is endurance racing, so you aren't going to win this thing in the first 10 seconds of the race. You can only win it in the last 10 seconds of the race when that checkered flag waves. And what you do from that, from the green flag to the checkered flag, really does matter. So some will push some will conserve, and it depends on each team's strategy and of course how qualifying went for each team. So we're about halfway around the racetrack here, and I have not seen a yellow flag thrown yet, so let's go through our field. Hutchinson here in 16th. He's between a Ferrari and a Lamborghini here right now. Ooh, a little bit wide there is the Porsche driver Ian, but again, doing a great job. And then just a couple guys, Racing Hobo and Scary Guy, just hanging back here right now. Everybody's just chilling on lap 1 here at Zandvoort. So great race start here by the crew at Infinite Racing League tonight. 12th place GLR Seal, he is on 11th place GLR Seal now is on the back end of the driver we started here with as we come around to start lap 1. So one driver's coming into pit lane already to clear one of those stops. That is not a damage thing, that is just a driver coming in to clear one of those mandatory pit stops. So already we see immediate pit strategy coming into play. So that's going to move Seal up into 10th place. Right now, everybody is quite patient. Everybody's just trying to get those tires warmed up so they can start pushing these cars and see where they can get through the field. We got Cletus here in 7th place. I believe this is where Cletus started in the race so far. And this top 7 pack I kind of figured was going to be fairly close here. They were fairly close in qualifying times, so we're going to see a lot of this here today. I think we're going to see some pack racing here today as, again, the pace of the drivers will start to separate as the race goes on. Pixel of Chaos here in 13th is in the Ferrari right now. He's chasing Rigo in 12th place in that Mercedes. And boy, is that a beautiful livery, or a livery depending how you pronounce it, on that car here. Very true to Ferrari right there, and of course where Ferrari comes from. Fluke with that beautiful purple and blue Ferrari. Fluke knows is one of my favorites, that's why he keeps it that color, I swear. But it's looking pretty good here too, but that doesn't draw extra camera time, unfortunately. We just go where the production crew sends us. Alright, SRE Boss here, down 1 spot since the start of the race. Bloxham up 1 spot here as well. So Bloxham and SRE Boss have swapped spots. So Bloxham currently sitting in 3rd. The driver that he's trying to beat here is in 2nd place, 1 spot ahead of him, and Rapid Ducks is leading the way from pole position. So a couple changes up front, nothing too major. Joko chilling here, he's in 16th place. I believe this is where he started the race here today as well. Little slide right there out of the Ferrari. Critico, alright, let's sit on board with Critico here for a minute. Critico is I believe second week in this Ferrari. It might be his 2nd week in the Ferrari 296 here, but definitely moving and cruising. It seems like no matter what it is this driver gets into, he's comfortable with it, and that's just a sign of a good experienced racing car driver, in my opinion. It just takes a little bit to get used to the quirks and what the car does and how it reacts in certain situations, and then once that driver kind of banks that in the memory there, then they can get down to business and start finding time on racetracks. So some of these highly experienced race car drivers, of course, do that a lot quicker than some of the inexperienced drivers. Critical, one of those drivers, he really locked into this car quite quickly, it seems like, and doing a great job at holding Fluke off and behind right now in 6th place and trying to keep up with SRE Boss up ahead. Alright, so there we go. Our pole sitter, Rapid Duck, he's in the lead here. He's got 1.1 seconds on Johnny B, and behind Johnny B has 1.1 on Bloxham. Bloxham has a little bit of pressure in behind with SRE Boss, but I don't think it's really pressure. They're just nose-to-tail driving currently. And again, nobody's really trying to force anything here right now. Right now, everybody wants to stay nice and close together, maybe get in some slipstream situations, save a little bit of fuel, save a little bit of tire, gauge everybody's pace, take a look maybe where that driver's weaker than you are in one section, maybe where he's a little stronger than you are, do a little bit of learning, assess, and then attack. So might be seeing a little bit of that here right now as and again, that top 7 pack coming all through that start finish line straight there all at the same time. 37.302 from Rapid Duck, and currently is the fastest man on the racetrack right now, and some very fast drivers just tailing very close in behind. Alright, so it's Hi, my name is here. This is the driver that we've seen dive into pit lane. So this is an interesting strategy, and I say that because 1, he's got 1 pit stop cleared already. 2, he has now come out onto a racetrack with absolutely no traffic. He has clean air. There's going to be 0 battling, a lot less risk of incident in the early goings of this race. He gets to just put his head down and ultimately run some really good, quality, consistent, clean laps. Now that's the plan. In order to make it really work, it's got to have a very, very solid first stint here, not getting in any trouble. If he does start to catch the pack, then he just needs to be patient and try not to burn any of that race car out early on, because the driver's all low, 2 pit stops still, so he does have that advantage here currently right now. Disadvantage is time on track at the moment from the leader, but the advantage is 1 pit stop down, 1 left to go for this driver. So the first one to dive in, and the only one on an early pit strategy here, it seems like, is Hi My Name Is. So very interesting. I don't know what to expect to see from the strategies here. We might see it done in thirds, so at the 1/3 mark of the race, so at about the 20-minute mark, we may see a portion of the field jump into pit lane, clear that stop, and then we may see it again at that 40-minute mark. Maybe at the 40-minute mark, drivers may assess whether or not they want to put fresh racing tires on. Ooh, and we got a Porsche. Oh boy, a little early on the throttle there. Car got out from underneath of him, and that is going to be a limp to pit lane. Thankfully for him, pit lane's not too far away, but that is going to be some damage on the front end of that Porsche. Now, that's a vital spot here on these Porsche 911 RSR racing cars, because of course the radiators are there that cools the engine for those race cars, so it doesn't take really much. They're right just in behind the fenders, basically inside the wheels. So all it takes is a little bit of a good solid tap there, and you could puncture a hole in that radiator. So the crew's really going to be taking a look at that car when it comes in and see what they need to fix. Hopefully they can get that Porsche back out on track, and hopefully the driver's okay. Adrenaluke up a couple spots from starting here, with Crazy Face just in behind, up a couple spots as well. So our 10th and 11th place drivers now in 8th and 9th place, trying to chase down Cletus, who has a 5-second gap currently from these drivers. So right now the front pack has 5 seconds on this second pack, and it's just a little pack right now. It's a group of 3 drivers. It's Adrenaluke, Crazy Face, and BMW driver GLR Seal. And Seal is been in that BMW all series long, so doing quite well in the standings, I'm assuming, here as well, with a lot of drivers opting to change their cars last round. And that is a chicane into a hairpin, essentially, ladies and gentlemen. This is no joke, this racetrack. When I said it's technical, I wasn't kidding. It's a very technical racetrack. It's bumpy, it's very undulating, it's up and down. It has a lot of blind spots in it, and it's very, very easy to make a mistake. And you can see immediately as Adrena cuts across to try and break the slip from Crazy Face here, and Crazy Face is just like, yeah, go ahead, you're just slowing yourself down, swerving side to side like that. I'm just going to take a dead straight line, maximize my time. I'm good right now, you know, we chilling, get moving. GLR Seal here just a little off the pace and behind, but not by much. JDR's in 12th place, and number 430, Silver driver here, looking pretty solid. That blue, white, and red tinged Lamborghini here as he rolls on around. 2 seconds to Tango 2 up in front in 11th place, and he's got about 2 seconds to Rigo in the Mercedes in behind in 11th. So there's Hutchinson. It was Hutchinson that we've seen go into the wall there, so he's going to clear one of the pit stops, I guess, in a sense, too, with that damage. So having 2 mandatory pit stops, in a sense, if you pick up damage, isn't the worst thing in the world. You can multitask that. You can take a liter of fuel in that pit stop, count one of your pit stops, and fix that damage. Now, it'll still cost you, obviously, the time for the mishap on the racetrack to fix the race car, but at least it clears one of the pit stops. Racing Hobo here in 18th position, doing pretty good since he started in I believe it was 22nd or 21st place, so he's up 3 or 4 spots, pardon me, my math is not so good today, so far on the racetrack. GLR Seal, 11th place, lost position to Pixel of Chaos here. So Pixel of Chaos has come around with the Ferrari and managed to find his way in front of GLR Seal here, and now Seal is under fire from Tango 2 as well, so maybe a mistake made here by the number 555 BMW Pro driver here, and well, he got himself a little bit of a battle going on here now. Tango 2 as he comes around here in 10th place, and ooh, big slide there as he hooks onto the curb there. That was a great save right there. It's going to be a little tough on the suspension, a little extra rubber missing off those 2 right-hand tires there. Oh, you can see a little bit of scraping on the side of Tango 2's car here, so involved with maybe a wall or another car at some point here on the racetrack. Sitting in top 10 right now, so in good condition. Doesn't seem to be obviously affecting the condition of the race car. Cletus up a couple spots here now, sitting in 5th place, and some of the drivers starting to clear pit stops here, I think, is what we're starting to see. Pixel Chaos, 8th place. Fluka down to 17th. One of those drivers have cleared one of those pit stops. Now maybe made a mistake, picked up some damage, not sure. Maybe a part of the plan. SRA Boss is still in 4th place. He is right tucked in behind MX Blossom, who is tucked right in behind Johnny B, and Rapid Duck has a little bit of a gap. OGR coming in with that thumbs up. How you doing, Toolshed? Much love, my guy. Hope you're having a fantastic, well, for you, I guess it would be afternoon, I believe. Got fans coming from all corners of the planet here at Infinite Racing League all the time too. We do appreciate everybody viewing from all over the world here. It is fantastic viewers from the United Kingdom, North America, South America, Australia, and everywhere in between and around. We love to see it. Welcome in, everybody. Got 48 minutes remaining of this 60-minute endurance race with a 2-stop mandate here today. This is GT3 Racing on ACC, a set of course a Competition PlayStation 5 edition, hosted by Infinite Racing League, partnered with Coach Stave Academy. It's round 7 of 8 with the GT3 Summer Series. Alright, so SRE Boss is hanging in there right behind MX Blocks. And these three are just chilling right now. They're just trying to make sure they don't lose each other, make any mistakes, don't give any one of the drivers in or front of or in behind any extra advantage, so to speak, on the racetrack. Alright, Critico, 14th position, has cleared a pit stop. So we've seen some of the front runners just stop early now. I'm not sure if that was a strategy. You can see he's working on trying to find his way around Choco right now. So it's risk versus reward when you make that early pit stop, because you want to try to make sure that when you come out in clean air. And right now he's come in behind a driver who has warm racing tires very early on in the race, has no damage on their race car. So he's going to have to take some time to assess where to battle this driver, and there we go as he takes a look up the inside here right now, and Critico and Choco side by side as they come out of the corner, and Critico's going to get the job done, and great respect shown by both drivers right there. Ooh, a little tap right there by Choco. You can see he's going to stop that thing, make sure he doesn't give him any other tap, and it looks like he's going to continue on the way here as he got a car coming through it. I believe that's Fluka. So Fluka's going to dip up in front there, so loss of position to Critico. Choco's going to get that position back. And just a little bit of a tap there coming in under braking, and ooh, now Choco's got dirty tires. Can he get out of the way of the other competitors? It was very close there, and boy, when it goes when things go wrong, they can go wrong quickly here on the racetrack. And let's see if we can get back to we got a driver in pit lane there as well. So Crazy Face up in the 6th place here. JDR is in 11th. Camera crew is not doing a great job of getting us to the action here, are they? Greener here in 18th position. We got Hobo in 16th place. What else? We got GLR Seal up in the 9th here now. Tango 2 in 10th. Cletus is in 7th. So give a spot, take a spot. Give a spot, take a spot here. Some of these drivers as they're battling around the racetrack today. Pixel of Chaos has been just charging pretty hard here so far today in 8th place currently. Aaron coming in with the thumbs up on the stream as well. Hope you're doing fantastic, my dude. Hope the family is well. We've got Fluka here in 13th position. As we've seen there, a little bit of an incident between Critico and Choco there. Choco getting a position back. Fluka took advantage, got a couple of freebies there, but now Critico is on the charge and behind Fluka here. So it was a very light tap between the two Ferrari drivers, so I don't think it should affect Critico's car too much, but what do I know? I'm just a guy behind the mic. You can see there, Choco, it's just better. It was doing so well there, and just tense moments, and boy, that car looks like it got into the wall a little bit, or another car on the racetrack potentially. So Critico and Fluka there. Let's see, Rapid Duck here, our leader, 6.6 seconds on Johnny B, who's still holding off Bloxham, but that's only a half-second gap between 2nd and 3rd place here. See if they'll take us there. There we go, 3rd place MX Bloxham. Damn, appreciate you, camera guys. And jump on board with Bloxham here for a few corners as he chases Johnny B. Now Bloxham is okay with this right now. I'm not sure what the points lead is, but right now, if he were just to if the race were to finish in this position, I believe he's still going to hold the championship points lead going into the final round next weekend. It's just going to be slightly smaller. Fastest lap, I'm not sure if that counts towards an extra bonus point or not, but I'm sure obviously very important here in the race today too as well. And I believe Rapid Duck is still holding that, but we'll keep our eye on that as we circulate through our drivers to see who our fastest driver on the racetrack at the time is. You can see these two are very equally paced drivers as well. It's their teammates typically, but here on this series, obviously they're competitors on track. This is a solo individual championship and not a team championship, so these guys are racing each other here. But that means they also know each other's strengths and weaknesses, because that means they probably drive together a lot, they probably practice together a lot. So it always makes for really good battling when teammates have to fight each other for the best spot on the racetrack. And you can see Johnny B got a good run through there. He gained some time on Bloxham there, and that's unfortunate there for MX, as he was just sitting right in behind Johnny B there. So a small little breath for a second, literally a second, is the gap between Bloxham and Johnny B, but that's enough for a driver of Johnny B's caliber to just be able to feel just slightly more comfortable for, even if it's a half a lap. He's got a lap traffic to deal with here, and that 1 second gap allowed him to buffer to navigate that without any pressure from Bloxham. Ooh, Bloxham is going around here, and the black traffic got a little bit outside the racetrack there. Thankfully kept the car underneath of him there, and everybody made it through safe and sound, but ooh, tense moments as Scary Guy just trying to do the right thing there. Adrena here in 5th place, and it's fitting here right now. Car number 5 sitting in 5th place on the racetrack right now in that Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo 2. Fantastic looking car, isn't it? That fin coming to the spoiler there, but doing a great job. Cletus in 6th place, right in behind. Crazy Face has been doing great here today in that Lamborghini as well, in 7th place just in behind, and almost a third of the way through the race here, and I do suspect we'll see a portion of pit stops at about the 20-minute mark. It's just an educated guess, but I could be completely wrong, as we have seen some drivers on alternate strategies. So we have Ian in pit lane here. He's currently sitting in 18th position. Racing Hobo here in 16th position, and just chilling. Silver Driver doing his thing right now. GLR Seal in 10th. Tango 2 has navigated his way around GLR Seal here, so Tango 2 has grabbed yet another spot. Pixel Chaos is up ahead of him by about 4.8 seconds, 3.6 seconds, and they're trying to track him down. If these two BMWs, in a sense, could kind of get closer to each other here, they can use a little bit of quote-unquote bump drafting to potentially gain on the other drivers. So you can see great awareness right there from, I believe it was Ian Greener in the Porsche coming out of pit lane. He stopped at the end of pit lane to allow the hot lap traffic, the racers at speed, to have the corner, and then came out once that group of cars passed. So that was some great racing awareness right there by our Porsche driver. Cletus here in 6th position. He's just been chilling, man, doing his thing. He's just moving and grooving. 41 Ferrari driver here. He's just tucked in behind Adrenal Luke. He's got Crazy Face just tucked in behind them. And again, no immediate pressure, no forceful battling happening here. Just 3 drivers trying to keep pace with each other and find an opportunity to try and grab a position on each other. In this case, it's Adrena trying not to lose any positions to drivers in behind, and close up that 8-second gap to SRE Boss in that front pack up ahead. Pixel Chaos 5 seconds behind that group we were just following here in that, again, very great looking Ferrari on the racetrack here today. And he's doing his thing right now. He's got 2.1 seconds on Scary Guy, who's a back marker. So the next positional driver is he just got around, so to call it 3 seconds, as Tango had to maneuver again. Scary Guy there as well, quote-unquote blue flag traffic. You see the flagman there just putting the blue flag out right now. Tango 2 is going to come into pit lane here. We got a little rendering issue at the end of the racetrack there, so I think we need to let our production crew know that camera 12 there is not quite working properly here today. Alright, Fluka here in 13th position, and yeah, you see camera 12, it just ain't doing the trick here today, you know, it's a little fuzzy in the distance shots, so, well, hey, you know, cameras, they take wear and tear too, folks, and these production crews, they absolutely give us the best they can give us, and those cameras work very hard. So here we go, Fluka here in 11th, and number 18 here, again, pro driver there as well. So that's what that white is, ladies and gentlemen. The white where their driver number is means that is your class. The silver is a silver class driver, essentially a pro driver, essentially is what that means. You have your bronze drivers, which essentially would be your amateur style, pro-am style division drivers, and of course you got your red drivers, which are rookies or new drivers that have just gotten onto the racetrack and are just starting to learn the ways of ACC. So there is a good little system in place here in ACC. Of course, safety ratings, car control ratings. You have lots of different rating systems that are in place here too for the drivers that ultimately decide what your coding of a driver is. And of course, depending on the league, sometimes you need to have those things in play in order to even get into the league. So got a nice little mixture of pro and what I would like to call pro-am pace drivers in the field here today. And it makes for interesting racing as well. Critico here in 12th place with Lucas still just tucked up ahead in 11th. It is MX Bloxham here who has cleared a pit stop, just coming behind them. So ooh, a little bit of a wiggle right there by Critical. That's interesting. So the undercut, in a sense, has kind of worked for Fluka and Critico here. Rapid Duck, 13-second gap now on the second place driver after a couple pit stops being made by some of the lead traffic there. So it's going to be interesting to see when Rapid Duck makes his pit stop, and he is our driver holding fastest lap on the track right now currently, 36.947. So 1 minute, 36 seconds, 0.947. Hi, my name is What here in 13th position. This driver again went for the ultimate undercut. First lap, came in, cleared a pit stop. Currently sitting in 13th position. This driver, I can't remember where they started. I think they're up in the top 10 here. So, so far the strategy has yet to work out, but continuing on. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I just had to make sure that it wasn't an emergency that needed to be dealt with immediately, but we are good to go. It is Rigo here in 9th place. He's in the Mercedes here, and he has hung it hard in this Mercedes all season long. He's had a pretty good, for the most part, season, I think. Pro driver here, number 911 driver, and certainly in a good position currently. He is sitting in 9th place. Fluka in 10th, 8.7 seconds down the road, so no immediate pressure, and he is on the backside of JDR, that Lamborghini here, 0.7 seconds, trying to close in. Now the Lamborghini is most certainly going to be a lot better through the corner parts of this racetrack, and the Mercedes is probably going to be a little bit better in a straight line than that Lamborghini is. So it is a race of attrition right now for the Mercedes driver to try and find his way around JDR, but as they continue to go around, drivers are making pit stops, you're gaining free positions. Really, we're not going to know what is on the line until about 10 minutes remaining in this race, most likely, as, ooh, Johnny B has heavy damage on the front end of that car, and that has big implications for how this race could potentially go for him here. And, well, I mean, racing is racing, and in a heartbeat, what could have been could be taken away. So Crazy Face here in third. Johnny B is really gonna have to put his head down here now tonight, as the front end of that Audi looks like it took a massive shot on the racetrack here. We didn't see any other cars in pit lane there, so I don't know if there was if it was an incident between two cars, or if it was just an individual incident there. But definitely didn't look good. Gary coming in with that thumbs up. Hope you're doing fantastic, my dude. Crazy Face here, number 707 driver in that Lamborghini, currently sitting in third place at the moment, but all the top three drivers still owing pit stops. Pixel of Chaos, GLR Seal owing stops, JDR in behind still owing 2 stops here as well, and Rigo still owing 2 stops. So our top 7 drivers have yet to make a pit stop here as well. So it'll be interesting to see where everybody settles out when we're all back to even Steven 1 pit stops, and we see the Mercedes driver diving in right now, going to clear one of those pit stops. Hutchinson, he's got 2 pit stops left, so he didn't clear one of those stops when he got that damage repair, and maybe a bit of a mistake made there, I think, from the silver driver here. But number 444 Porsche driver here, and sitting in 20th place currently, and I think this is the first race here at the Infinite Racing League GT3 Summer Series from this driver and this driver here as well, Mr. Ian Greener, 19th place driver, and the Porsches don't seem to be doing very strong here today at Zandvoort Now, it looks like it has a lot of high-speed sectors to it. The Porsche is good in high-speed sectors, but only in the corners, of course. It gets to these bigger straightaways. That is where this car is going to lack against some of these more straight-line speed cars, especially the front-engine, rear-wheel drive cars. MR cars have really great turning ability, but those front-engine, rear-wheel drive cars really got some great torque into the rear wheel, and they just get some great straight-line speed. So BMW being one of those cars, this car is a little rocket ship in a straight line, but you have to be very patient with it coming into corners. Setup obviously does help these things out with these race cars, but at the end of the day, you're still trying to turn a brick around a racetrack compared to a nimble little turning machine, say like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or a Porsche. These cars are designed for high-speed corners. That is their forte, and they absolutely just hug them. So the trick with the MR cars is maintaining your corner speed, so when you do get out on that straightaway, you have more momentum to ideally keep pace with that car that might not be able to maintain the corner speed, but can definitely gain it back on power out of corner. So it's two different driving styles for the two different cars on tracks, and of course each driver has their own skill behind the wheel of that car as well. The cruise setup helps here in ACC. It all matters: tire pressure, brakes, aerodynamic force, suspension, everything that you would suspect that could be adjusted on a race car, GT3 race car, or GT4 race car here is needs to be factored in and thought about on a Set of Corsa Competizione PlayStation 5 version. And all these drivers have been tweaking and tuning and working out different angles on their toes and their cameras and heights on their aerodynamic force based off each track. So it's you keep your information from one session to the next, and then the next time you come back to the track, hopefully you got a little more insight and can quickly more dial your car into your driver's liking. SRE Boss here, first driver to clear all stops. All right, so SRE Boss in 13th position and has cleared both fuel stops. Good to go to the end is that driver. No need to stop for anything else unless he absolutely needs to. Choco here in 12th place still owes 2. Critico owes 1 in back up into 8th place. Fluke is still just up ahead in 7th, and MX is in 9th. Hi, my name is in 10th. We got Rapid Duck in pit lane here. Hi, my name is in 10th position here. We've got Rigo in 15th position. We've got MX Bloxham currently sitting in 9th. We've seen that already. So Johnny B's in 16th here. So are we going to see the same thing from him? Are we going to see another quick pit stop from Johnny B? Get rid of that fuel stop, get that mandate out of the way, and absolutely just send this thing the rest of the race and see if he can pick up those really well needed positions he needs here heading into the final round next week. Scary Guy in 19th position right now. We have Adrena in 14th, so the drivers are switching positions. Again, some haven't stopped at all yet. Some have stopped once, and one driver so far has made that second stop. But now we're starting to see drivers driving in here. I'm not sure who that was in behind Adrena there, but potentially another driver looking to clear a second pit stop here. Hutchinson, Ian in 18th here. Racing Hobo in 17th here. 1 stop remaining. There we go. So it's Pixel of Chaos in the lead of this race right now. 2 stops still remaining. We have GLR Seal sitting in 2nd place with 2 stops remaining. Choco has 2 stops remaining here as well. He's in pit lane here right now, actually. And a stop and go penalty for number 430 driver JDR in the Lamborghini. Stop and go for, looks like 30 seconds penalty, and I believe that's speeding in pit lane, that penalty. So that's really unfortunate for the Lamborghini driver right now. Hey, how's it going, Nolander? Appreciate you, my guy. Alright, BMW driver Seal, he is our current race leader here right now. We've seen a couple of race leaders, and obviously when you have a 2-stop mandatory pit stop strategy in place, you expect to see the lead swap hands a few times as the drivers opt to take their pit stops, clear those pit stops based off their team strategies, or racing situation strategies sometimes, which may be the case for some of these drivers. And they're rocking and rolling, so. Racing Hobo's in behind GLR Seal here right now, 1.1 seconds. Now this is to get it back on the lead lap if he can find his way around GLR Seal. But with that being said, if he's aware of how many stops this driver has made, he does know, or maybe just doesn't need to push past this driver and just wait for him to make that pit stop, and then he gets that lead lap back without having to battle for it and use up his race car, use up any extra rubber, risk an incident happening, or any of those things. So with a pit stop in hand here, is Racing Hobo aware that he's a pit stop in hand on our current race leader? He's not putting any pressure on him. He's really giving some good respect and space to the race leader here right now as a blue flag car. But again, with a pit stop in hand, essentially he's not really technically a blue flag car, even though right now he is. It's very confusing. I know it's hard to follow sometimes, but we do our absolute best to keep everybody in the loop the best we can. And you can see Racing Hobo's actually trying to purposely break the slipstream a little bit there too, is to not get into the race leader, and he really had to bail there as he really got pulled in towards the back end of the leader. And that was some great aversion right there by that driver. Oh boy, that was close. And Rapid Duck cleared both his pit stops here now as well, so we're seeing them strategies kick in. We got Cletus, he ain't just getting out of the way of a pack of cars fighting through here. It's Cletus, Rigo, and Johnny B right now. This is all positional battles, and the stop and go has been cleared from JDR there as well, says Race Control. So great job there on the quick response from that team to get that cleared up and continue on with their race. It is Cletus here in 11th, and boy, Rigo's under pressure from Johnny B here right now, and Johnny B is absolutely going to take a look up the inside into corner 1 here. And I'm just going to stick with our Ferrari driver for a minute here, because the production crew is not necessarily going to take us to this battle happening in behind, and it's going to be Johnny B. It looks like he's going to slot up ahead of Rigo coming out of corners 1 and 2 there. So Johnny B moves up 1 spot, Rigo down 1 spot. Pixel of Chaos now, after making a stop, has come out of pit lane in 10th position. Fluka here in 8th has cleared both those pit stops, so this is our 3rd driver that doesn't need to stop again, as long as they can have a good squeaky clean nice little race here to the end. SRE Boss was our 1st driver to pull that strategy, and in behind Fluka here, so a little bit of a gap was between these 2 drivers clearly, and it is 5.5 seconds separating them. Choco in 16th position in that car, still looking a little worse for wear here, but he is still zipping that thing around the racetrack in 16th spot. Critico up into 2nd place. He has 1 stop remaining. And his GLR Seal still in the lead of this race, only 3.5 seconds up. So with that being said, should see a race lead potentially, or it depends when he chooses to stop. But he's got a little rear end damage there on that Ferrari as well, so it should be interesting to see how that all goes for him. All right, Rapid Duck, he was our pole sitter. He is still the fastest man on the racetrack, and he will, after pitting for the first time, giving up the lead to GLR Seal now, who has it, but comes out in 5th place after 2 pit stops. He comes out in behind what looks to be 2 positional drivers and 1 blue flag car that still owe a pit stop, so he's looking like he's in really good position here right now. Hi, my name is in 14th. We've got Rigo here in 13th as well. Blocks him. Ooh, a little mistake right there. As you can see, a little slide wiggle from our 3rd place driver, and he manages to gather the car up, keeping it out of damage, so that's always a plus right there. But whew, scary moment there for Blocksman. He's got to get his head right back into it and start putting in some good clean corners here to minimize the time loss there. Johnny B here is in 12th position, and boy, he's got some work to do. Let's see how he fights his way through here with just under 25 minutes remaining. Scary Guy in 19th. Again, Adrena having a good race here today as well. In 6th position, so Crazy Face in 7th place here, and he's been having a great run in this Lamborghini today. Driver number 707, silver driver here. First time, I believe, in this particular season we've seen him on track. And he is looking quite good in behind the wheel of that Lamborghini. Still got a pit stop left going, but sitting in 7th currently, JDR, after having to clear that stop and go penalty. He still owes a pit stop yet, unfortunately, and he's getting some pressure here from Rapid Duck, who's just going to let go by there. So a little lift on the throttle there was all it took, and that was a great job there by JDR to let Rapid Duck through there. And Tango 2 now will be the next driver to try and get around JDR here, but a little bit of patience is required from our lead lap drivers here today, as there's just certain parts of the racetrack that's really tough to make something happen, so you just got to let those guys get through there and then get around them as quickly as you can in the next safest opportunity. Hutchinson here in 20th, Ian Greener here in 17th. Oh boy, he's going to be locking them brakes up to make sure he keeps it on the track when he comes back on, and he does. That's a great job there. Racing Hobo in 15th here now, so moving up some positions here bit by bit, slowly but surely, is the silver driver. We have GLR Seal now. 8.2 seconds to the race leader. Blocks him. He has 2 pit stops remaining. And he's got a couple of blue flag cars in between him and MX Bloxham in 2nd place. Now Bloxham still owes a pit stop here as well, but GLR Seal still has the lead of this race. Tango 2 is in 4th place, and Adrenaline Luke, the number 5 driver, well, in 5th place, fitting. Putting some pressure here. Let's stick with this for a minute, as these two are looking pretty solid. They got JDR and then Crazy Face just behind too, so a blue flag car just breaking Crazy Face out of this battle, and Crazy Face actually going to dive in, clear that next pit stop here. He's going to take advantage of the traffic situation and just say, yeah, you know what, let's just get this out of the way here and see where we end up when we come out. So it's now just a battle between Tango 2 and Adrenaline Luke here, with Crazy Face making his 2nd pit stop of the day here, and his mandates should be cleared, but we'll wait for race control to confirm, of course. And they do that with our color coordinating on our live timing screen in the bottom left hand side of our screen here. So Tango 2 is definitely aware that that Lamborghini is there and doing a pretty good job at parking that car on the apexes right now, not really giving Adrena an easy look through here. So it's tough to drive when you have a car hounding you like this, and look at that, just great defensive lines coming from the 26 BMW here, and definitely making Adrena work for it. But by taking some of these short lines, sometimes you're giving up your exit speed, and that is where the advantage does eventually come into the driver in behind. But they still got to find their way through, and they got to do it as cleanly as possible. So again, motorsports is supposed to be a non-contact sport, even though we all know that sometimes there's some rubbings happening, but designed to be a no-contact sport anyways. Tango 2 and Adrena just having a great little drive here right now. Nothing forceful. Adrena is taking a look. If there's an opportunity, we may see Adrena maybe try to take advantage of that opportunity, but right now just keep applying that pressure. All you can do is keep applying the pressure. Take a look once in a while, see how that driver reacts. They may respond to you taking a look there. Oh, and Tango's going to take it into pit lane there, and Adrena was going to thought he was breaking a slip there, realized quickly that Tango's coming in to clear pit stop. So Adrena can not have to worry about trying to get around that driver now, and just continue on down the racetrack, trying to keep Crazy Face from putting pressure on himself. So 4th place now is Adrena. Pixel of Chaos here in 8th position, still has a stop left. We've got Fluka here in 6th and putting some pressure on Critico here. So these two have been quite close together all race long, and right now it's nose to tail between the Ferrari and the other Ferrari. So 2 Ferraris battling it out here, and currently it's Critico that has the advantage. Now, something to note, we see the green beside both these drivers' names. That means they have cleared the mandated pit stops. They're good to go. They don't need to stop again. So this is ultimately a battle for the end of the race right here. And depending on what happens to the couple drivers still ahead of them here, there's still positions to be gained here as well. So the big question mark is when do you decide to push and try to close him up and start fighting? And when is the time for Critico to say, you know what, catch me if you can? SRE Boss here in 7th place has had to pace all day long, currently 3.8 seconds in behind Fluke. Now this driver could potentially close those two up and make it a three-way battle there as well. We'll have to wait and see. Pixel Chaos has been having a great drive here in the Ferrari as well today. And he's got himself tucked in there for hopefully a good solid finish. You can see some drivers just coming out of pit lane there. Alright, Rapid Duck. Rapid Duck is in second place. It blocks him now with the race lead because GLR Seal has finally made one of those pit stops. He comes out in third place. Rapid Duck has cleared both stops. Blocks him is 20.1 seconds ahead. I'm not sure what the pit delta is here, but I'm sure it's a little bit more than 20 seconds. So Bloxham will most definitely lose that race lead to Rapid Duck, bearing in mind that nothing crazy happens or how the strategies play out between both the drivers. But Rapid Duck doesn't need to stop here, and as long as he keeps it neat and clean, this could be a race victory here for the green McLaren today. Hi, my name was our first driver to make that pit stop there, and he's got himself up into 11th place here, so I believe he was up in the top 10 when he started. I could be wrong with that. And sitting almost back up in that top 10 here, but definitely in the top half of the starting field. And oh boy, that is a very hurting looking Mercedes right there. I don't think that car's feeling good right there. You can see he's moving that thing side to side. He's trying to figure out what's wrong with that car. That splitter is basically dragging on the road there now. Definitely going to be some damage in the front end of that Mercedes, and that is going to potentially be the end of the day for that driver. That clip is hanging off. That car is suffered a very tough fate here. MX blocks him in first place, and what is it? It is 18 seconds to Rapid Duck, so Rapid Duck's actually closing in on MX blocks him bit by bit here as they continue around the track. And I'm not sure what the radio communication between Bloxham and that team in behind pit wall is right now, but I am sure that he is more than aware of the positioning of Rapid Duck right now on that racetrack. We got Anthony coming in with that thumbs up on the stream as well. All the legends coming from down under here today. We appreciate everybody from Australia viewing today, for real. Absolutely love to see it. Coming in with that love, with that share on the stream as well. Alright. Bloxham, race leader. Hey, we're doing good, brother. We're doing good. Hey, we're always having a blast. These drivers make it easy to have fun, don't they? So the question is, when does Bloxham make that pit stop? Rapid Duck is essentially in a whole series of pit stops there, up in all the cars up in front of Bloxham here as he's coming around the final couple corners of the racetrack here. Let's see if he dives in here too. So 15 minutes remaining. He is going to finally come in, so he is most certainly aware that the longer he stays out at this point, the more and more he's hurting his chances at catching back up to Rapid Duck when he gets out. So the team has made the call. They're like, you know what, you got to come in. You got to come in. We got to clear the stop. We got to get you back out, and you have got to put your foot into it and track that man down. Or is Bloxham just going to be happy with sitting in second place, knowing that Johnny B is, well, currently nowhere in the fight at the moment, and just be satisfied with that? It could be a championship lockdown for MX Bloxham if Johnny B can't get up into, well, potentially even a podium finish here today, but right now sitting in 12th. He's got Crazy Face and Tango 2 up in front. They're kind of battling, but kind of not battling, so Johnny B is tucked up in behind here. But I guess the bigger question is now, how patient is he going to be? He doesn't really have time to be patient. This is the man who is defending champion here from last season, and he has his work cut out for him here, it looks like, today. So cards starting to fall away from the team at Johnny B's camp there for a repeat this season. We'll have to see what happens. Pixel Chaos, 5th place. He's going to owe a pit stop, and as it's getting late into the race, I mean, how long are you going to leave this pit stop at this point? If you have traffic gaining on you from in behind, I mean, you're just costing yourself time to him at that point. SRE Boss, he's been closing in bit by bit here in 8th place for a while. He's got Fluke within a second at this point, so reeling him right in. He's got him within a car length right now as they come around the corners here, and this is Ferrari versus Ferrari, so same equipment, different tune and driver. That's about the only difference here. But right now, Fluka doing a pretty great job at holding his own against SRE Boss. Choco in pit lane here. We've got Critico now in second place. So Critico again is one of those drivers that, well, it should be third place here. We just haven't had the update in the live timing. Seal has just gotten around Critico here, but Seal again still. Ooh, a Porsche. It looked like Ron Hutchinson off on the right-hand side coming out of the final corner there, and it is Ron Hutchinson off there. And unfortunately, it'll maybe look like a massive technical issue there for that driver. But it looks like everybody made it through safe and sound, so it is Rapid Duck in the lead. Drenna, wow, the next nearest driver is Critico, who's about 20 seconds down the road at the moment. Hi, my name is in 9th position, and wow, that Porsche is still sitting at the end of the final corner up against a pit wall there. Got Rigo in 16th. This new front clip, and they got that hood all back down on this Mercedes, and they got this car back out, so he must not have done any real serious internal damage to that car. It looked like he took a big lick though, not more than about 8-9 minutes ago, so GG's to the crew behind the wall to get him back out. So Bloxham is in third place. He's cleared the pit stops. He's got Critico 2.3 seconds. Oh no, he makes a big mistake. Is everybody gonna miss him? Okay, so far so good. Oh man, this is scary, tense moments here. He needs to get this car turned around. He needs to get this car back on track, and he needs to not get any contact there. So great job from the other 4 drivers to get around Bloxham there, not get involved in a bigger incident themselves. And oh boy, that was tense moments for driver number 274, MX Bloxham, our current championship point standings leader. Boy, that changes things up a little bit here now all of a sudden too, with well, just 13 minutes remaining. Johnny B's not looking so bad here all of a sudden in 11th place now. Obviously he doesn't know what has happened up there, but again, if that the team is giving him that radio information, he may know what's happening up there as well, I suppose. But scary guy here up into 17th place, moving and grooving, sticking to his strategy, just grabbing positions here everywhere he can. So it's fantastic stuff here. Adrena in 13th after the pit stop there. We've got Crazy in 12th after the pit stop. We've got JDR in 15th after a pit stop, 2 pit stops and a stop and go 30-second penalty for speeding in pit lane. And that is most certainly a disconnect right there, I think, folks. I think that this driver has had a internet malfunction or a power malfunction at their residence, and that is what we're seeing there. That's the end result of that. There is that car is just sitting there stuck up against pit walls, so hopefully it doesn't interfere with the racers for the last 11.5 minutes. Hopefully that driver can get that sorted back out and at least get that car off track and get it into a more safer position for the racers on track. Never seen that before. That's a new one. All right, Tango 2 here in 10th place. So, you know, again, this is just a video game as well, ladies and gentlemen. So we appreciate you, Anthony. We really do, my guy. Thanks for asking, brother. We've got Cletus. Has moved his way up into 4th place, but Cletus, like Pixel of Chaos in 3rd place up ahead, has to make it to the pit stop. So the SRE boss has made his way around Fluka. That's going to give them 2 more positions. That is going to be a battle for 3rd position. Our 3rd place driver, Pixel of Chaos, goes pit stop. Fluka does not. Just tucked right in behind SRE Boss here. And SRE Boss is starting to turn up the heat here a little bit, boy. He is trying to pull away from Fluka, showing that he's got the pace. Fluka's like, oh, you think so? We are not done here. And boy, camera 12 is just broken today, isn't it, chat? My goodness. My goodness. SRE Boss coming around the corner. Fluka still right there in tow. We've got Joko in pit lane there. Something happening there again. Just the crew taking a look at that car. That's why we have pit lane, so it's a safe place for this all to happen, so the racers can keep doing what they do best, and that's racing. Right, Rapid Duck 22 seconds up the road from Critical Basilico, who is in 2nd place. From there, it's Pixel of Chaos and another driver that have to make a pit stop, which will put Fluka and Critical? Yeah. No. I can't remember now all of a sudden. Up into a podium battle there. Wow, brain fart. Hi, my name is in 8th place, so that strategy, that early pit strategy, again, get him back up in the top 10 here. So I can't quite remember where he started, but he may be looking to start gaining positions here. Blocks him in 7th place. We've seen that spin from Blocks. SRE boss, that was who I was trying to think of. Oh, Johnny B there having a moment there for himself as well, and a little bit of damage on the front end of that Audi, so maybe just getting into the back end of that BMW in front of him at some point, but a tense moment there for Johnny B, and both the gold Audi drivers having little moments here on the racetrack that potentially, well, could have huge implications. So, boy, we're really going to have to get into these standings moving into the next weekend's race so we could really see how this is all breaking down. But it is not over, that's for sure. Adrena in 13th position, and there's still a couple drivers that owe a stop. I mean, they're running out of time. We have just a hair under 9 minutes remaining here. So, Crazy Face, 707 driver in 12th position here currently. JDR and Racing Hobo is his battle for position as well. JDR is in 14th, Racing Hobo's in 15th, but again, no immediate pressure. Both drivers just trying to get around the track as quickly and efficiently as possible and trying to get the best position in the next, 8 minutes that they can, so they can maximize their points for the weekend. Ian here in 18th, number 56 Porsche driver, looking solid on the track here. I believe it's his first race of the season, so just getting his feet wet, getting acquainted. Meta coming in with that thumbs up. How you doing, Meta? Alright, Racing Hobo, GLR Seal here in 9th place. Led the race at one point in time there, but strategy now puts him back down into 9th place. And 11.8 seconds in behind Hi My Name Is, and just about 5 seconds ahead of Tango 2 in 10th place. So he's in a good spot here. He's got a signal light on and chilling. Alright, Tango 2 here in 10th. Cletus, 3rd place driver here. There we go. Alright, it was Cletus Pixel Chaos I was trying to think of. And I guess the big question is, when do they finally make the stop? I mean, their teams are radioing the guys that they're going to lose 2 positions no matter what to SRE Boss and Fluke up ahead. They are barreling down. They're only, 4 seconds in behind, so it is going to be a matter of time before those 2 drivers do catch up. Fluka here trying to chase SRE Boss back down, now 1.5 seconds, so SRE Boss clearly has picked up the pace here a little bit near the end of this race. And again, I said at the beginning of the broadcast, some drivers will go really aggressive really early on. They'll push the car, try to open up the time gap a little bit, kind of like Rapid Duck did in a sense, and get out in that clean air and just try to maximize. And right now that has paid off for our leader, but for everybody in behind the leader, that you have a choice to make. Battle hard for positions, just chill, give away a few positions here and there. It's early on in the race. You use strategy, trust in your strategy, trust in your ability around the racetrack, and save the race car for the end. And I think that's what we're seeing out of 5th place driver SRE Boss, as he just seems to have a little more Ferrari underneath of him than 6th place driver Fluka right now. Camera crew's working all backwards on me here today. I don't know. SRE Boss, again, we're just talking about that and deciding to, like I said, the last 10 minutes of this race is kind of where we're really going to start to see things kick off and happen, and SRE Boss absolutely trying to pick up the pace, but 3rd place driver Critical is about 5 seconds up the road here, so not a lot of time to pick up 5 seconds on the racetrack on somebody who's just as quick as you are. Oh, and Critical goes wide there. That is going to cost him. That's going to cost him. Pixel and Cletus there. They're going to put a little bit of pressure on him. But again, Critical's at an advantage of pit stops here on these 2 drivers. I'm not sure if he's aware of that, but boy, oh boy, Pixel of Chaos took a look there and had to bail out and almost hooked that curb, and that curb almost spun him out. That might have collected Cletus in behind there. That was some tense moments right there, as these 3 Ferraris are all nose to tail here in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th places. It is battle for position, but in a sense not, because 2 of these drivers still owe 1 of their 2 pit stops here today. At least that's what it says on my screen anyway. Alright, there we go. We got the hold your line flag coming out from our officials there as well. So Rapid Duck, no pressure. He's got Racing Hobo, is just chilling out there, and Rapid Duck almost made a big mistake there. Just got a little bit wide into that corner there. And I think he just kept that McLaren out of the wall there, but boy, that was really close to a big error there. Hi, my name is in 8th place here. We've got Rigo in 16th. We've got Bloxham, our championship points leader. Ooh, and Scary Guy having a big wreck there just up in front of him there. And the Audis seem to be struggling a little bit with a couple of the corners here on the racetrack, as we've seen Bloxham have an incident that, fortunate for him, the drivers are quite responsive. Didn't get him collected up, and then Johnny B we see go wide there. So 3 Audis in a row. Just showing their struggles here this late in the race. Oh boy, this one's hurting. This guy, he's just going to try and limp this poor car to the pits right now. And oh boy, look at that. That car is beat up. Just doing a little grass cutting for track officials here to say thank you. Adrena here in 12th position and was having a great race here today. The strategy just not quite on point here today for this driver, but I gotta tell you, laps and consistency looked absolutely fantastic here from that Lamborghini driver here today. Much of the same from this one. First race of this IRL Summer Series here is Crazy Face and looking to bring home a top 10 finish here. Tango 2 is only 7 seconds behind, but with 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining, gonna have to make a pretty big mistake at this point to lose that time. JDR is up in the 13th position, so another couple positions gained from this driver here. Ian Greener's still holding strong in 18th. I believe he's got Johnny B or Bloxham behind him. I think that's Bloxham behind him. Racing Hobo in 14th. GLR Seal in 9th place. So I believe this is the highest BMW driver right now in the grid. Ferrari heavy grid right now. We're seeing a lot of Ferraris come out. Obviously everybody wants to play with the new Ferraris on the racetrack, so we've seen a lot of the Ferraris come out to play here in the series at the end of the season. Tango 2 in 11th, again sticking to his BMW here. Cletus opted to go from BMW to Ferrari, so I believe it's second round in Ferrari for him, so most likely out of any kind of championship season here this season, but getting acquainted with this new car. Obviously probably thinking about moving into next season. Pixel Chaos, not 100% if this was his chosen car or not, to be honest, but he does finally go in to clear that pit stop that he needed to make, and he's going to give up some positions here, so we'll see where he comes out of. That's going to put Fluka into 4th place. That puts SRE Boss up into the podium in, well, 3rd position, so there we go. Alright, Critico in 2nd. We got Rapid Duck in 1st. We've got Hi, My Name is now all the way up into 6th position. So Pixel is down into 7th here. Maybe going to lose another one yet. Rigo's in 16th place. Bloxham has moved his way up into 5th now with those 2 drivers pitting as well. So that worked out pretty good for him. We got Ian making a mistake getting into the wall there. So that's going to be a little bit of damage on that race car. But as long as he can get limp the thing around one more time, he should be a-okay. Adrena Luke here is in 12th position. Let's see if there's some time to pick up for some of these drivers. Crazy Face is coming around here in 10th position. And he's going to grab it up into 9th. That does appear to be in 9th place now. So just coming out ahead of Pixel of Chaos there. Fantastic stuff. JDR here in 13th. Ooh, and you can see the damage just grazing that wall there is causing a problem for that Porsche. And he's going to get that toe to pit lane. And that's going to be game over for that Porsche with only a minute remaining in the race. They are not going to get that car out in time, so he will finish the race from pit lane here today. GLR Seal now up into 8th position. Tango 2 under pressure from Pixel of Chaos here, so here we go. We got a battle right here. Beautiful stuff right here we got going on from Tango 2 and Pixel of Chaos. Again, Tango 2 we've shown to be a good defensive driver here, but with it being so close to the end of the race, we need to go and check on our race leader here. So it is Rapid Duck who's just coming where? Is he behind JDR right now? Alright, so he's in about the midsection of the racetrack here right now. So let's get back down to this little juicy battle right. Oh, that's happening right in front of him actually. Pixel Chaos has gotten around Tangle 2 there, so. And Rapid Duck, again, he doesn't need to force anything here. He's got a massive lead. And doesn't really need to push around JDR or force his way around JDR. He can just sit in behind him for the remainder of this lap and it will be 100% A-okay. So as long as JDR doesn't make any vital mistakes and do anything crazy in front of him here, this is going to be a potential race win for the race leader. Yes, checkered flag is waving here, and it is going to be a race win for Rapid Duck. That's going to put Critical coming across here in second place, but no, SRE Boss has reeled him in. Ooh, and look at the line he took through that corner. Oh boy, but the curve might have cost him there as he tried just to get that nice tight inside line. And I think Critical is just going to hold on here and fight the charge of SRE Boss off. And boy, feeling the pressure right at the end of the race. SRE Boss turned up that heat in the final 10 minutes of that race. Boy, and he's going to break that slipstream, and it's going to be a second place finish for Critical. Very close, followed by SRE Boss in third position. And celebrating, and well, hey, puts the car in the wall, why not, right? Fluka here in fourth place. Great race from Fluka. I was going to put Bloxham coming across the line here in fifth. Alright, so we're going to note that. Hi, my name is in sixth place. Great finish for him early on strategy, early pit strategies. He comes across the line just out of the top 5 here today. It's Cletus here in seventh position. Great racing by Cletus. GLR Seal is just coming around the corner in behind here. It's going to be an 8th place finish for Seal, and you can see maybe he thought that was a positional car there. We got Crazy Face coming around here in 9th. I believe that was Scary Guy coming across the line there as well. So he is going to finish out in whatever position it is there. But Crazy Face, 9th place for him in Pixel of Chaos, battling Tango 2 for that top 10 spot. He's going to sneak that away from Tango 2 here, so Ferrari's going to hold out the top 10 there. Tango 2 is going to come around. That's going to be an 11th place finish. JDR finishing just up ahead of him there in 13th as well. Adrenal Luke is in 12th, JDR in 13th. Racing Hobo comes in 14th. Rigo comes in 15th. He grabs a spot there. Scary Guy in 16th. That's going to leave Ian in 17th. Choco in 18th. And a few drivers had to park it in behind pit wall, so 4 cars off the track here before the end of the race at Zandvoort. And, well, that was some good racing. That was some good racing. It was a race of attrition here, I think, for every single driver here today. We didn't see a lot of really crazy door side-by-side action that I kind of thought maybe we were going to see here today. But there was definitely lots to talk about. There was lots happening on the racetrack here all night, that's for sure. So we're just going to give a few minutes here, as always, to give the drivers the opportunity to come and hang out with us here for our top 3 finishers. I just need to find the right channels. Alright, so let's talk about that race in just a moment. We're going to flip you over a screen. Enjoy the video here from Infinite Racing League, everybody.
Chase to the sundown. We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up. Chasing, chasing, chasing. Every day we chasing, chasing, chasing. No time to be wasted. Look, faking the lead, we don't follow. We need it now, not tomorrow. Don't care what they say, not changing the pace. Working too hard to be last in the race. So much time in the day, and it ain't none to waste. Working this hard to be one of the greats. Whatever it takes, put that on the plate. Life is a gamble, we raising the stakes. Moving the bar up so high. Been on our grind, for life. Bringing the light, you just so bright. We shining, platinum sound cool, but we trying to reach diamond. Hard work pays off, that's perfect timing. Changing the world with this rhyming, it's priceless. We got the nicest by putting the time in. Can't be the greatest, you're not even trying. What now? We on the chase to the sundown. We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up. Chasing, chasing, chasing. Every day we chasing, chasing, chasing. No time to be wasted. What now? We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up. What now?
time. I apologize, mama. Go ahead and eat without me. I'm still on the grind.
I ain't touching home base by dinner time. All I can see is the finish line. Started, I gotta finish mine. It's get it time, anytime, hella long. I've been in line, I didn't mind it all. Waking bake won't take a break at all. That's on my word, my boss. Naming lights gon' have to pay me twice or pay me no mind, and I don't mind it all. My grind is green, I am my job to inspire. I'm right behind Gote. Line has been fired by a chain for a time. I ain't get hired. Second week kicked in, I probably won't get tired. Kevin Gates or Kevin Bacon. Only 6 degrees of separation between me and the next level of elevation. Perseverance, the art of dedication. What now? We on the chase to the sundown. We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up. Chasing, chasing, chasing. Every day we chasing, chasing, chasing. No time to be wasted.
Whew, that's a really great video provided there from the Infinite Racing League. So we're just gonna go take a quick little peek here. We do have our race winner here in the interview box here, so we'll definitely start with well, our pole sitter and eventual race sitter here. Let's just get you guys some audio so you can hear them, and that'll be fantastic. All right. So, Mr. Rapid Duck, looking good out there. You're doing a car change here today, coming in with that Ferrari, and boy, did you, or sorry, the McLaren did, and boy, oh boy, did you make that McLaren look really good here today. You coming into qualifying and set the pole position time. However, those times were very close between the top 6-7 drivers. And the race starts, nice clean race start by the group, and those top 7 drivers broke away quite quickly. So it seemed to be that those top 7 drivers that seemed to be ultimately fighting for the championship this season at one point or another were the fastest drivers here tonight. But good clean driving, good patience, good strategy, and you found yourself with a nice 20-second gap at the end of the race. So talk us through your day today.
Yeah, I mean, quality was super. I know I tried to do 3 runs on a set of tires. I mean, it was super hot. Tires were falling after 3 flying laps, so it was super difficult to get in the window and then just get the job done. But I was lucky. I was, I believe, 1/10 up on joining team and 1/10 up on joining qualifying. I mean, P1 was crucial for me today. After that, I mean, there were different strategies discussed before the race. Some people, for example, MX decided not to take tires. I decided to do 2 30-minute stints, and at the last minute, I want to just take one liter of fuel and basically go 2 30-minute all-out sprints, which I think at the end of the day turned out to be the right strategy. I mean, right now talking to Fluka, to MX, I mean, their tires were basically destroyed after the whole race. I mean, besides that, just had to make sure I had a good start. And Johnny slept on start a little bit, so I didn't even have to defend pretty much. I had a moment on lap 2, but luckily there was already a small gap between me and P2, so all was fine there. And after that, I just, was pushing as much as I could. After 5-10 minutes, I realized that some drivers opted not to change tires. So I knew that my race was basically between myself and how much time I was going to lose in the pit stop. So at the end of the day, super happy with the results. McLaren 1.9 patch is very enjoyable. I mean, just happy ready to win the race today, and looking forward to start the new season with the new car.
Absolutely. And is that what this is for you? You just have a couple races here to kind of get used to this car. You're just preparing yourself for the next upcoming season so you can just have a little bit of information and feel a little more comfortable with it?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, I skipped, I believe, first 2 rounds of the season, so I knew I'm not in the fight for the championship anymore. I decided the whole 1.8 patch I was racing BMW M4, but after the patch I realized the car is it's super difficult to drive. It's completely different vehicle. So I opted to change to McLaren. That was my first car I was using when I was used to race on PlayStation 4, and I mean I cannot say a bad word. It's amazing. Right now, I believe that's the best car overall. Either this or Ferrari or Audi. One of those 3 cars, very very competitive, and it's just so enjoyable driving the car. And I can already confirm right now that the next season of Sunday Series, I will try to make all the races, and more than likely I'll be racing the McLaren.
Well, the next season's competitors should definitely take note of that and be aware because you definitely look comfortable behind the wheel of that car today. Very small mistakes, if there were any at all, that we didn't really see any, and you battled through the traffic pretty well. Now, again, a tough racetrack is kind of broken into three portions. This racetrack, as far as its technical sectors go. How was getting through again some of the slower AM drivers and pro am drivers around the track as you were progressing?
I mean, honestly, my initial strategy was first go 30 minutes on one set of tires, then change tires, do under 29 minutes, and then just splash and go, put 1 liter of fuel. But I saw that some drivers decided to, after my first stop, actually, I came out of the pits right behind Critical, Luca, and MX. So for me, there was no point in really fighting them. They were on all tires. So the next lap, I decided to go into the pits again and just add. I finished my pit stops after 30 minutes of racing. Then I had some moments with back markers. I'm not really back markers. I believe I left my pit stops. I was P5. There were two drivers ahead of me who were P4 and P3. They still had one pit stop to do, so that was pretty challenging. I'm basically there were two opportunities for me where I had a chance to pass them, and I basically had to send it a little bit. That was the moment I had to be slightly aggressive, but for me that was crucial to get past those two drivers. But bet markers, I mean, bet markers always doing a great job. Whenever there is an opportunity, they always slow down or either short shift or slowly let you go. But I mean, never bad experience with bet markers in IRL. But my only goal for today was really after my second pit stop to get for the two drivers ahead of me who were yet to pit. So I had to be slightly aggressive there, but after that it was just cruising and controlling the gap and seeing what the opponents in front were doing.
Yeah, fantastic, and that kind of answered my next question before I even got to answer it. Was how aware were you of the pit stop sequences, the drivers that were around you? But clearly, Rapid Duck and his team were very well in communication and knew exactly what was happening around him on the racetrack. And when you came out after that second stop, you're in fifth place. You knew you had two in front of you that had to pit. Uh, did you know that you were looking like you were sitting in a pretty good position to win the race by that point?
Yeah, I mean, after 30 minutes, when I left the pit stops after changing tires already, and I was, I believe, 3 seconds behind Critical, 4 seconds behind MX. I knew they didn't change tires, so I knew at this point really the race was for me to lose. I mean, the tires, the drop off of tires with the heat and the temperature was huge. So I knew as long as I didn't have them in front of me, I had some clean track. There was nothing they could really do against me. I mean, at the end of the race, they were lapping 2.5 seconds slower than me on a fresh tire. So I knew after 30 minutes that really, as long as I'm not stuck in the traffic and I don't have any significant moments or accidents, the race is really already mine. I just had to put some fast laps in, and avoid any traffic, any bad moments. But overall, after 30 minutes, I felt pretty confident about where I was.
Absolutely, and fantastic racing by you. Right at the end of the race, great battling by Critico and SRE Boss there for second and third place as well. It was right down to bumper, nose to bumper coming across the line there, basically. So, some great battling happening behind you, but a good, easy, well, not easy in a sense, but a good, comfortable race here for you today in a car that, you're new in, or not new in, but new in. And, like I said, looks like you feel quite comfortable in it. So, one more round here in the series, and I'm not 100% sure where we're heading right offhand. Just give me a second to take a peek here.
I'm pretty sure we'll head to Monza, Italy.
It is, yes, it is. It is absolutely Monza. So we are going to finish off at Monza. So, I mean, Monza is a very famous circuit. Most sim racers know this track quite well. How do you feel about your chances around Monza next week in this McLaren?
Oh, I absolutely love the track. I mean, there's many people that hate the track now. Stand. I mean, of course, if you have an accident into heading to turn one on lap one, your race is basically over. But if we just follow the same pattern as today, as everybody was super careful on lap one, if we survive lap one, I think it's gonna be a great battle. I mean, Monza always brings great battle as long as we all survive lap one. After that, it's just one of the best track for overall racing.
Absolutely. Well, again, congratulations on a really great round race here today. Pole position, fastest lap, and the race win. So the trifecta here today. And if that's of anything of what to look out for the next season from Rapid Duck, we may see another another challenger in the ring for that crown. And with that being said, can Johnny B and get back to MX Blocks? Both having not quite the ideal race today, and it is going to shake the standings up heading into our final round in Italy next weekend. But anything you want to add to your race here today, and any shout-outs or thank yous you want to toss out there?
I mean, shout out to MX and Johnny. I mean, we spent the whole week on Discord talking about strategies. Initially, I thought no tires would be the fastest strategy, but we talked a little bit more with Johnny today. I mean, we decided to go for aggressive strategy with changing tires. Just shout out to him for testing and doing all the hard work. I basically jumped in an hour ahead of practice, ahead of the race, and then my strategy was already prepared. So huge shout out to Johnny, and I hope for a good and spicy final round between those two.
Well, I suspect we're going to see exactly that. I think it's going to be pretty close here, and I think it's going to be a battle right to the end at Monza next week. But we'll let you get back to your team and celebrate, and congratulations on an absolutely great win, and good luck next weekend.
All right, thanks, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and as always, just great stuff from Rapid Duck. We don't have Critico or Boss in the booth with us here today, so maybe talking with their teams, debriefing, maybe just exhausted and don't want to talk about how the day went for them. I'm not sure what is, but again, it's not a mandatory thing for the drivers. This is just something if they choose and they feel they got time to, especially the winners, they're excited, they got lots of adrenaline pump, and they want to say hi to the fans and then show that love out there to all the people that come and support them. So, I mean, huge win for Rapid Duck. This driver has looked good in every race, has some tough moments on some days, but on days like today when he shows what he can do, he just proves that we really need to watch out for Rapid Duck in the future, and especially in future seasons. Not only future seasons, but also could affect what happens in the championship this season as well, if he can pull out another win at Monza next weekend. So you all heard it. It's going to be Monza next weekend. I'm not going to tell you any more than that right now, but finale night will be next Sunday evening at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, 7:45 or 7:50 Eastern time, and we're gonna bring the final round of IRL GT3 Summer Series to everybody, and we're gonna see who the champion is at the end of this one. But we're gonna have some calculating to do. We're gonna have to figure out some situations, and I think we're in for a pretty spicy final round here at the Infinite Racing League. So again, on behalf of the Infinite Racing League, I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming, and its partner, Coach Stave Academy. I'd like to thank everybody for coming in, for liking, sharing the stream, for hanging out with us, for watching the race. I hope that your favorite driver made you smile today and had some great moments for everybody on the track, and I hope everybody enjoyed our 1-hour endurance race here on Assetto Corsa Competizione PS5 version as well. So that's it for now. It's not a goodbye forever. It's just goodbye till next Sunday, here from the Infinite Racing League and GT45 Gaming. We'll be back here with GT45 Gaming and our normal content throughout the week, but as far as Infinite Racing League goes, finale night this Sunday coming. Mark it on your schedules, you get your favorite snacks, you get your favorite beverages, and get the family together, because I think we are in for probably one of the best races of the season at Monza next weekend. It's just a gut feeling. But tell your friends, tell your family members, get together. Let's have a banger of a night and watch, well, maybe, if we're lucky, a 30-car grid. Wouldn't that be fantastic at Monza next weekend? So we appreciate you, everybody. Remember, folks, help is only a phone call away or a quick conversation away from somebody that you may not even expect. So don't forget to reach out, everybody. You all matter, and most importantly, stay winning. And when we talk about legends, John Grayson just coming up into the chat with that thumbs up, and we appreciate you, my dude. And you just missed us. You just missed us. But we'll be back, like I said, John. So we appreciate you all. And, well, business as usual here at GT45 Gaming and the Infinite Racing League. Lots of racing action coming in the near future here for everybody from all sorts of different platforms and all sorts of different leagues and organizers. It's going to be a great time. And, well, summer season is racing season, ladies and gentlemen. So kick them tires and light them fires. And have a good night, y'all. We appreciate you.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't
Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing.